Good morning. Here I am with Duke, and we're gonna practice two things today. First, we're gonna just work on luring. And I'm not wearing gloves, so it's gonna get very slimy. I'm gonna work on my technique and his technique. So, when you lure a dog, what you're trying to get them to do is follow your hand, right? Because you can use that behavior to put them into all sorts of, you can put them into heel, you can ask them to sit, you can do all kinds of things if they learn to just follow your hand. So the best way to do it, I have found, come here Duke, is to hold the treat between your thumb, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, your thumb and like your middle finger or your index finger, like that. And you want to hold your hand so that your fingers are vertical. If you hold your hand horizontal, they're much more likely to get a hold of your fingers and accidentally bite you. They get excited. They don't mean to bite you, but they do. So that's how I do it. And I try to do it in such a way that it keeps their head level, not tilting one side or the other. You don't want them to get used to working with you with their head tilted, right? And it just is uncomfortable if you do it enough. I'm sure it is not a comfortable thing to experience. So we're just going to work on that for a little while. Then I'm going to work on some leash pressure and just some loose leash walking manners. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, I'm just going to lure him around. I'm not going to ask him to do anything specific. I'm just going to lure him. And so I'm going to show you a couple different ways. You can lure him toward you like this. You can you can bring him past you, flip your hand around and bring him forward. Use both hands. You can have him lure next to you, or you can walk backwards. So I'll just do a couple of those things, and this is something you want to continue with him. Just so that he stays, educated on his luring abilities. So what he tends to do right now is lick, 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 and then try to bite. So what you want to do there is not let go of the food until he kind of pushes in with his little incisors, until he kind of pushes in with those. Instead of opening his mouth, instead of licking, you want him to use those front teeth to just kind of grab it. Yes, good. We're just gonna practice here because I've noticed it's something he's not very good at. Good, much better. He either tries to bite your whole hand or he just kind of gives up and goes, yeah, you won't give it to me. Good. So when they tend to bite my whole hand, I just keep my hand in a fist to show them that, yeah, that's not gonna work. There we go. So lick, lick, lick. It's not a bad thing for them to do, but it's not optimal. What you want them to do is kind of push. There you go. Oops, you dropped it. Right there. It's right there, buddy. Right there. So then I'll just start moving a bit. And it's not easy with him. There's a whole lot of liquid. Slimy, slimy. See, he's trying to bite. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to push back at him. See, he tends to be a little obnoxious about biting hands. There we go. You didn't drop it. It's in my hand, dude. It's in my hand. There you go. There, much better. You notice I'm also putting back pressure on him, which is encouraging him. It's the opposition force. It's encouraging him to actually go forward into my hand. There, that's much better. Much better. There. Good. So when he gets bitey, I'm going to push. There we go. Good. There. You don't want him to open up his mouth and try and take your whole hand. You want a nibble. You want a nibble. That's what you're after. Good. That was nice. That was a good boy. Good. also did, I don't know if you caught it, but he had that perfect moment there of pushing and nibbling. There. Good boy. There we go. Good. Nice job, buddy. Good. And the more he learns to push into your hand, then he'll keep his nose on your hand and he won't. So what happens is if they don't follow your hand, they get a little ways away and then they grab. And that hurts. So you want to teach them to just keep their nose in your hand. Yeah, good job, buddy. Good job. There, good. Good job. I'll try this direction. And sometimes they get a bit flummoxed because it's different. It's still here. No, no. There, good. I don't know why. He thinks we dropped one, but we did not. Good. Good. There. And I know this seems a little weird at first, but it really is useful for positioning their body the way where you want it, in the way that you want it. It's incredibly useful for luring them into position. You can lure them onto place, you can lure them into heel. So he's starting to bite. I'm going to be a bit of a jerk to him for a second. He cannot bite me. He's not being mean, he's just getting frustrated. That's not okay. You cannot bite me. There you go. Here. Good. There. Good. It's the walking and nibbling at the same time that's getting him. Typical boy. Come on. Good. Much better. And that pushing is the same way I treat dogs that take a treat aggressively. You put your hand out and they... Oops, now I did drop one. So, dogs who do that... Yes, I know, we do have a stubborn streak. No, Duke. No. Nope. Here. So, and a dog that comes at you open-mouthed for their treat, you can just push into them, right? They go, wah, and you just go, yeah, well, that's not gonna work. You have to be nice about it. Here, we did drop one. Don't know where it went, dude. I'm sorry. I don't see it. Sit. Good. And the more luring you do, the gentler they become with their mouths. Down. Good. Good boy. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Do a little more. There we go. Good. Good boy. Good. Okay. So for the next thing we're going to practice here, I'll be a little farther away, so I'll sort of explain to you what I'm doing out here. And this is a bit of aversion training, so I'm going to do things that he doesn't like. But always just remember, aversive training does not mean pain or abuse. It just means anything the dog doesn't like, right? So saying no to your dog is aversive, right? Aversion is just something they don't enjoy. So when walking on a loose leash, I'm not expecting him to do this perfect heel, but what we want them to do is just stay with us, pay attention to what we're doing, right? They're not leading us, we're leading them. So one great way to develop that with your dog is to just be erratic, change direction a lot. And so I want to make sure you understand the idea here is not to hurt him or cause him pain or surprise him. It's just to teach him that humans are a little crazy. They think we're going this way and they change direction. It's really weird. You got to keep an eye on them. So that's what I'm going to do with him here. I'm just going to walk up and down here and you can watch. The moment he starts to pull on the leash, I'm just going to change direction. And I'll say to him, this way, right? I don't want to surprise him. That's not the goal. The goal is just to teach him that he needs to pay attention to what I'm doing and stay with me to avoid that direction change, right? So we're just going to walk. Notice how he's kind of looking at me now? This way. Good boy. This way. Good. This way. This way. Good boy. This way. Good job, buddy. This way. This way. Sit. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. The other thing you can do to keep their attention on you is to call them back to you. And it also solidifies your, recall, right? So I'll show you that here. And so in that instance, I'm going to say, Duke, here. When he comes back to me, I'm going to give him a reward. I'm going to let him get a little bit in front of me so that he's not right here. And you can mix it up this way. This way. Good. Sit. Yes. Good job. So you can tell that as we go through this, he's paying more and more attention to me. And you're going to take him to a park in the big wide world, and this is going to fall apart. And you're going to spend however much time you need, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, just doing this with him in the parking lot. Do not start your walk or whatever it is you're doing that day until he's paying attention to you. Don't ever let him just go out and go, I'm going over here to this bush, or I'm gonna go bark at this dog. Like, no, we're not doing any of that. Maybe later, right? Once you're like this, looking at me, paying attention, wondering what we're gonna do next, the two of us, right? And once they get this, once they understand this, the moment you start doing it, they'll go, oh crap, that's right. I have to stay with you and pay attention to you before you'll let me really do anything fun, right? So that the fun things that they love to do, sniff and pee on bushes, you know, sniff things out, play in the water, whatever it is that they like the best. They don't get to do that until they can prove to you that they're a good citizen out in the world. Do it a little bit more. This way. Good. This way. Job. Sit. Good. Good boy. So hopefully I wasn't out of frame too much and you can hear me. Say hey, Duke. Hi, buddy.